If you are currently receiving Social Security, or if you're planning to rely on it in retirement, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this entire video. Because the news that just came out is something every single senior in this country needs to understand. The Social Security Trust Fund, the money that pays your monthly check, is now projected to run out in just 6 years. And if Congress doesn't act before that happens, your benefits could be automatically cut by nearly 25%. That's not a rumor. That's not fear-mongering. That is straight from the Congressional Budget Office. I'm going to break down exactly what this means, when it could happen, and most importantly, what you should be doing right now. Welcome back to Senior Updates, the channel that gives you the real news about your benefits, no fluff, no confusion. I'm glad you're here, because this is one of the most important videos I've put out in a long time. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because I'm going to tell you what steps you can actually take right now to protect yourself. All right, let's start with the basics, because a lot of people don't fully understand how Social Security actually works. When you worked, money was taken out of your paycheck, that payroll tax. That money went into what's called the Social Security Trust Fund. Think of it like a big reserve account. When you retire and start collecting benefits, the money comes out of that fund. Now here's the problem. For decades, more money was coming in than going out. But that changed. We have a situation now where more people are collecting benefits. Baby boomers are retiring in huge numbers, and fewer workers are paying in, because the workforce is shrinking relative to the number of retirees. So the trust fund has been drawing down. It's been shrinking, and according to the latest Congressional Budget Office report released just weeks ago, that fund is now projected to be completely depleted by fiscal year 2032. That is 6 years from now. Now I want to be very clear here, because there's a lot of confusion about what running out actually means. Social Security does not just disappear. It does not go to zero. Workers will still be paying into the system, and that income will still cover a large chunk of benefits. But here's where it gets serious. Under current law, if the trust fund is depleted, Social Security can only pay out what it takes in each month. And right now, the math shows that would only be about 76 to 77 cents for every dollar of benefits owed. So if you're currently getting $1,500 a month, that could drop to around $1,140 a month. Automatically, with no vote by Congress, no new law needed. It just happens. For someone getting $2,000 a month, you're looking at losing roughly $460 every single month. That is a significant amount of money, especially if that check is your primary source of income. 2 former members of Congress came out just days ago with a formal warning urging current lawmakers to act now before this deadline hits. They're not alone. This is becoming one of the loudest alarm bells in Washington right now. Here's something important, and it's new. This depletion date just got moved up. A few years ago, the projection was that the trust fund would last until 2033, or even 2034. Now we're hearing 2032. And some reports are saying parts of the fund could be in trouble as soon as 2031. So what changed? A few things. First, payroll tax income has been lower than expected. That's partly because of changes to individual income tax collections and shifts in the job market. Second, people are living longer. More years of collecting benefits means more money being paid out over time. And third, and this is something that doesn't get talked about enough, the cost of living adjustments, or COLAs, that seniors have been receiving to keep up with inflation. Those also increase the total amount being paid out year after year. So the gap between what's coming in and what's going out is growing faster than anticipated, and that is why the clock is ticking faster. Now the big question everyone is asking, well, will Congress step in before this happens? The honest answer is, probably yes, but maybe not in time, and definitely not without some changes that could affect you. Here's the historical context. This has happened before. Back in 1983, Social Security was actually just months away from being unable to pay full benefits, and Congress did act. They put together a bipartisan fix that included raising the payroll tax, gradually increasing the full retirement age, and taxing some Social Security benefits for higher earners. That fix worked for about 40 years. Now we're back in the same situation. So what are lawmakers talking about this time? There are a few options being discussed. One option is raising the payroll tax cap. Right now, you only pay Social Security taxes on the first $176,100 of income. People who earn more than that pay nothing on the excess. Some lawmakers want to raise or even eliminate that cap so higher earners pay more in. Another option is gradually raising the full retirement age again, maybe to 68 or 69. That would reduce the total amount paid out over a lifetime. A third option is means testing, meaning wealthier retirees would receive reduced benefits. That's controversial, but it's on the table. And some proposals involve a combination of all of these. Here's the reality, though. Congress tends to wait until a crisis is right on top of them before they act. We've seen this over and over again. So while a fix is likely, it may come late. It may come with conditions attached, and it may affect your benefits in ways you're not expecting. Okay, so what does all of this mean for you personally, and what can you actually do about it? Number 1, do not panic. Your benefits are not being cut tomorrow. We have time, but that time needs to be used wisely. Number 2, if you have not yet claimed Social Security and you're approaching retirement age, this is a conversation worth having with a financial advisor or benefits counselor sooner rather than later. Depending on your situation, it may or may not make sense to claim earlier or later based on how this plays out. Number 3, if you are already receiving benefits, now is a great time to take a hard look at your monthly budget. Ask yourself, if my check were to drop by 20 or 25%, what would that look like? What would I need to cut? What other income could I tap? The goal is not to assume the worst, but to not be caught off guard either. Number 4, contact your representatives. Seriously, call your senator, call your congressman or congresswoman and tell them this matters to you, because it does. Politicians respond to constituent pressure, and Social Security is one of the most politically sensitive issues in Washington. The more seniors speak up, the more urgency lawmakers will feel to act before that deadline hits. Number 5, stay informed. That's why you're watching this channel, and I'm going to keep bringing you updates as this story develops. Because it will develop. There will be new proposals, new hearings, new reports, and I'll be right here to break it all down for you. Let me leave you with this. Social Security has been there for seniors in this country for over 80 years. It has survived recessions, pandemics, political battles, and every kind of challenge you can imagine. And the people who depend on it, people like you, have always fought to protect it. This is another moment like that. The deadline is real. The stakes are real. But so is the power of an informed, engaged, and vocal community of seniors who refuse to let their benefits be taken away without a fight. If this video helped you understand what's going on, please hit the like button and share it with a family member or friend who needs to hear this. And if you're not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the updates as this story continues to unfold. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.